Kia ora everybody. Last week was a week full of rejection for me, which to be fair, I'm kind of getting used to now. YouTube came back rejecting my appeal, just saying, no, it does go against community guidelines. They're their guidelines. I suppose there's not really much else I can do about it. In the future, I'll just have to be a lot less sarcastic when it comes to dealing with people who have really stupid views about misinformation. But you know what? That is what it is. I can't do anything about it. The one that really did surprise me though is that I got my first ever really rude rejection letter from a job application, which kind of surprised me. It actually really surprised me. This is what it said.
Dear Mr. Barlow, normally I'd thank you for your time taken to apply for this role. I don't care what you're like. I don't want you to tell me what you've done. I want to know what results you've achieved using social media and EDMs. That's it, not your life story. I look forward to finding out what you can really bring to the organisation.
Oh boy, yeah, they're not going to find out what I can bring to the organisation. I'm not going to reply to that. I don't really feel that I should, to be honest. It doesn't bode well as being an inclusive workplace where I feel comfortable because of the sort of pointed response I got straight away. And don't get me wrong, I get that employers are kind of stressed out at the moment when they're looking for good staff. But that kind of response was far too short and unthought out and pointless for a couple of reasons. Not just because it reads as a short, sharp, well, what do you do? There's actually a couple of other reasons that it kind of bugged me as well. The first is my CV does actually detail all that. I'm very careful with how my CV is written. It details my most recent positions, what I did and what I achieved within those positions. And that's really deliberate. That's because having worked with a recruiting company, I know full well that the first page of your CV is the thing that's the most important to stand out and grab people's attention to make sure you've got the skills required for the job. So to turn around and say, I can't see the results, means he hasn't been looking at the information that's directly in front of him. The second part is my cover letter. Now, I have applied for 130 something jobs over the last 100 and something days. And so writing cover letters is something that I'm actually not a big fan of doing. And I do use a couple of different templates that I change up for the job that I'm going for, because each job is a little bit different as well. But there is a common theme with them, and that's they're a bit fun. And there's a reason for that. It's because only 10 to 30% of all people doing hiring look at your cover letter. So I want to make sure that when they read it, they get something a bit different that highlights my personality. But that doesn't mean my cover letter doesn't have details. In fact, it has quite a few details about things I've done in the past, things that I've achieved while doing these different roles in the past, and some of the things I'm most proud of as well, while giving it a bit of sense of humor and a slightly dark twist. When I say slightly dark, I mean I'm not talking about people dying. It's just a little bit different to what you would expect from your stock standard cover letters, which has actually, I think, done me relatively well. I've interviewed quite a few times, and a lot of the times those interviews have been, the cover letter really stood out for us. So I'm very happy with that. It also showcases my skills in copywriting, which I'm quite happy to do. But it doesn't feel like this guy read any of that. So here's the thing, I'm used to rejection letters. I've applied for enough jobs over my life to get them all the time. I'm even used to being ghosted after interviewing and waiting for responses that never show up. Again, used to it, it's part of searching for a job. What I'm not used to is getting rude responses from people demanding things that they've obviously just gone and missed by not paying attention. That's really unprofessional. And I'm not going to name and shame this business. That's not my place to do this. And it's really surprising to me that nobody has pointed out to them that, maybe if you looked after your staff even before you got them, that you might be able to hold on to staff a little bit longer. And that feels to me like a really common theme throughout this great resignation that we keep hearing about. If you don't appreciate your staff, you're not going to keep them, because why would people want to sit around being treated like a piece of crap, is what it boils down to. And this sort of response to a job application highlights exactly why there's no way in hell I'm responding to what he had to say, and there's no way in hell I'm going to reapply to go back there. Simple as that. Anyway, that's been this week's vlog entry. Thank you very much for joining me. I will catch you next time. Have a great day.